everyone, and welcome back to another AEW Dynamite post-show review, this time for the October 18th, 2023 edition, in which it was a chilling feeling going into this Dynamite. I say that because the other day, first of all, it was a very good show. It was a good show. Built around MJF, Jay White, the Diamond Ring, Battle Royal, Juice Robinson, a couple more challengers aiming for MJF. Keep in mind. But yeah, the reason why it felt chilling going in was because the other day, Sting, it was announced that he would address the fans. Excuse me. And yeah, he would address the fans. Now, obviously, with Sting being in his mid-60s, it's been a joyous 3-year run with AEW. 3-year run thus far. It's been solid. He's been used correctly. But of course, he's in his mid-60s, and of course, with this year and his contract, the question coming up was, when would it be his final match? And he announced Wednesday on Dynamite that his first match in AEW was at Revolution 2021. His final match ever, he states, will be Revolution 2024. So there you go. Now, look, I was born during the Monday Night Wars. I was a WWE fan growing up, although I did have, WCW Power Hour games on my Nintendo 64. I would hear and see about WCW mainly through magazines, and I would know the roster by playing the game. But I never really watched, or never was able to watch live Sting in WCW. Now I was able to watch it back and stuff, seeing some of his great stuff he's done in WCW, but really, my first time watching Sting live on TV was his TNA run, which, people give or take, I would watch WWE and TNA when TNA felt in its prime, in 2006 to 2012, pretty much. I would say that was his prime, or its prime. And among that, Sting was part of TNA from 2006 to 2014. Yeah, 2014. And, you know, he had some good matches throughout there with AJ Styles, with, Samoa Joe. Uh, Plenty of good matches I enjoyed seeing. Man of the Mafia, etc. But, yeah, that was my first introduction really into Sting. And then he has brief run in WWE when people still skeptical of him facing Triple H at WrestleMania 31 instead of Undertaker face the late great now Bray Wyatt, rest his soul. But that was the dream match. Sting versus The Undertaker. And even in 2011, when Sting was on a sabbatical from TNA, and there were these chilling vignettes, and it was WrestleMania season gearing up to WrestleMania 27. I mean, Sting versus The Undertaker would have really been key for those vignettes. But, alas, it did not happen. Sting returned to TNA in 2011. And, well, there. Now, Sting had a Hall of Fame induction ceremony with WWE. Said it was a goodbye, see you later. And we saw, Sting debut in AEW in late 2020 at Winter's Coming. The first Winter's Coming. And didn't know. But just had a consensus or a feeling that Darby Allin would be involved. And last he was. He's been the mentor for Darby Allin, backup when he's needed. And he's been some of great moments in AEW. And it's been great to see him at his age do what he's been able to do. It was great. And yeah, of course, all things come to an end, unfortunately. And Sting set to retire officially Revolution 2024. Against whom? We're not sure. But it's going to be unique. Be unique. But thank you, Sting. Whether it's been Joker Sting, Surfer Sting, Crow Sting, Sting has always been legit and great. So, yeah. But yeah, Dynamite was good, back on the roll. Over 900,000 viewers estimated. Average roughly in ratings for those who care. AEW, after going toe head to head with NXT and NXT bring out big guns and John Cena, Undertaker, etc. back on their night, back to a regular motive. So, yeah. But Dynamite was good, and let's go over it, shall we? As thus it was a good show. So, let's see my notes here. So yeah, the show started off Penta Zero Miero versus Jay White. What was a fun open. So Penta he started off strong with a dive to the outside on Ball Club Gold. Even took out Card Blade. Yeah, did good. He had a Sling Blade on the outside to Jay White. Back in the ring, Jay White took advantage back. He muscled or sent Penta to the outside as Penta was basically being harassed by the rest of Bullet Club Gold. And Jay White took advantage. Back from ring, Penta made a comeback, hit 2 Sling Blades. He then hit Tope again over the top. Went a chop battle between the two. Penta taking off his vest. Shows you severity of this, chop battle. So Penta hit interesting maneuver. He had a fireman's carry. Looked like a jackhammer like maneuver. Good to see. For a near fall. Jay followed up with a big Uranagi. Then a brainbuster for a near fall. Penta made in Japan. So the guns, this is the odd part of, having 3 guys on the outside for support. So it looked like the guns were trying to interfere, distracting Bryce Rensburg. So Juice Robinson behind the referee's back as he was distracted, hit Penta in the head with the ring, and Jay followed up with a Blade Runner 1, 2, 3, and there we go. Jay White gets victory in a solid opener versus Penta. After he sort of mocked MJF as he said, cut my music, which usually MJF's moniker, and Jay White talked about the AEW World Champion needs to be a very elite champion, and he'll carry on by example. And MJF is not that. Talked about Juice Robinson winning tonight in the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal. So there you go. Yeah. The Dynamite Battle Royal and this match at Full Gear, it's going to be fun. And we can't wait. Speaking of MJF, goes backstage. I mean, you could definitely say that this kind of felt a bit flawed without MJF backstage so much and not going after excuse me, Jay White and yank hit back his AEW World Championship. But last here or there. So MJ was backstage, talked about, called Bullet Club Gold bullies, saying that, he will get Triple B back before Full Gear. So, M-Walk the Acclaimed, so M-Walk the Acclaimed with Billy Gunn. So Max Gasser again offered up their services to become Bullet Club Gold. And MJF was like, no. Again, you can tell that MJF is more leaning into that prickish like MJF again. So, Caster said, well, said, while I enter the Battle Royal, while I win it, next week beat you, and then he'd get the ring. Basically. Anyways, MJF kind of scoffed and went off. Yeah. So we know MJ Baxcaster was going to be in the Battle Royal. There you go. There you go. So, at first I thought this was going to be on Rampage. But, alas, they opted to put it on Dynamite. So, Emi Sakura no longer the Freddie Mercury gimmick, like a royalty gimmick now. So she faced off against Hikaru Shida in a women's championship. Title eliminator match, which are annoying. It's a lot easier if you can just say non-title matches. But alas, here we are. Anyways, of course, we know drill. Sakura wins, she gets a women's title shot. So, this was predicated on teacher versus student. Apparently, Sakura helped train . Hikaru Shida. So they opted to provide this match here. So there you go. It was a decent match, I will say that. But, you know, here we are. After Grand Slam. Or when Shida becomes a 3-time women's champion. She beats Ray. Then we're back here. But it's fine. We'll see. But match was fine. Sakura decent outing in here. Hit a Tiger Bomb for 2. She hit a Katana knee for a 1. Sakura fired back with a lariat, Oklahoma roll combination for 2. She fired back with Falcon Arrow and then a Katana for the win. I mean, the crowd was seemed like I honestly was like so. I didn't mind it. It was a decent match. But yeah. Adam Copeland. He had a sit down with Renee Paquette backstage. So, yeah, sit down with Renee Paquette. Again, asking how the roles have changed, with him and Christian Gage. Adam talked about, how it's been predicated as Adam and Jay or E and C, hence Edge and Christian. Well, saying Edge and Christian. So, talked about, he understands Christian's side. Said, but he's not here to take his thunder. He's not here to win off his success. He's not here to win his TNT title. Not to go for any of that. And he said he's not going to fight him in AEW. So, Renee asked him of his goal, and he said, I don't know. But he said he does know that Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus will drop him the second they can, and he's going to be there for him. So there we go. Adam did say a couple weeks ago that he does plan to go for the AEW World title. So that's something there. But yeah, we'll see. It's odd, So it's been a couple weeks now since Copeland's been on the roster, but Tony Khan did say his whole time, he's on every week. So there you go. So there you go. Next up. So let's see, where you go? Where's my notes? Wardlow. pretty much the silent Wardlow. It's his actions that are talking. So he had another jobber match with some development. So Wardlow came in, faced Robin Nemeth, tried to give a little fight, but Wardlow just fired back with a devastating powerbomb, and that was it. There you go. So, as Wardlow tried to leave, Tony Schiavone came in for a word. Get a word with Wardlow saying, why is he back? What's he here for? Back for? So, for those who've noticed the last couple weeks, Wardlow has had MJF printed on his wrist tape. So, Wardlow held up his wrist tape, touting MJF, and then blew past Tony Schiavone. Schiavone kind of took a flop, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. Wardlow is here for MJF. MJF has touted he's got a number of challengers in line for his title. Some development. There you go. That's good. The silent assassin is Wardlow. Kenny Omega, he was backstage, talked about Kyle Fletcher, basically calling him out, having to find something inside himself. So, he said, well, this week, it's about him and Kyle Fletcher. Next, it'll be about the Don Callis family. Then maybe after, he'll go after MJF and the AEW title. So, MJF chimed in, talked about Omega. MJF said he respects Kenny, offered to shake his hand. They shook hands. And MJF whispered in Kenny Omega's ear, 13 days, bitch. So, now, I think it was last week, sometime last week, MJF was on BT and he whispered in Kenny's ear, or said 26 days. You fucking bitch. Anyway, so MJF said that in Omega's ear. It's like, hinting that, he's close to breaking Omega's reign as the longest AEW World Champion. So, again, another guy, you got Samoa Joe, Jay White, Wardlow, and now Kenny Omega. That's a who's who gunning for you and your AEW World title. So, gonna be tough. Gonna be tough, I'd say. They said 13 days. Maybe a match. I don't know. We'll see. So we got another funny Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and the Kingdom vignette. So Mike Bennett, he was playing some bongos. Roddy, he was still sitting in a wheelchair with a neck brace, with a hospital gown. Cole was on a scooter. He got Roddy some coffee. He spit it out. He was pissed, saying, Adam, you know I hate hot coffee. So Adam was about to leave, and Roddy was sorry, saying, but hey, you know, one thing I am craving for. Remember when you were first in Ring of Honor? Said you used to cook the bet or make the best PB&Js? So they cut to Adam Cole making some PB&J sandwiches, and then Roddy tried it, and then yeah, they're like, how do you like it? Roddy was like, Adam, you know I hate crust. And then, yeah, Kingdom was backing him up. Yeah, nothing's quite better than a good PB&J. So, afterwards, Adam had enough, basically left, and Roddy was like, I know what I need to do. I gotta finally be nice to this scumbag. So, yeah. Some development with Max or MJF. There you go. We'll see what Roddy does in his wheelchair neck brace. Oh, the miserable Don Callis, the invisible hand, he calls him, out with Takeshita and Powerhouse Hobbs. So, telling that Sammy Guevara is still injured. I think Guevara posted a picture of him the other day. Not sure if he had a concussion or something. Nonetheless, I hope he's okay. Yeah, it was odd, but he seemed better. Anyways, so mainly about Hobbs and his dismantling of Chris Jericho. So Hobbs talked about a story of a 7-year-old him with his grandmother in 1998. Once again, hence the year I was born. So Hobbs talked about a time he wanted to meet his hero, Chris Jericho, and he brushed off. They're telling his grandmother to sit that F down. So, pissed about it, and then finally, all these years later, he was able to get revenge for his grandmother as he pummeled him spinebuster after spinebuster after spinebuster. There we go. So, they blamed Kyle Fletcher for what happened weeks ago. So, Kyle Fletcher, out of nowhere, he comes out and confronts Don Callis' family. Said that he doesn't need anybody to beat Kenny Omega one-on-one. And Callis said, I like your confidence, and said, if you do beat Kenny tonight, we'll have something to talk about next week. So then we got Kenny Omega's music, and yeah, good match between Kyle Fletcher and Kenny Omega. Kyle Fletcher was he early to mid 20s, and he's got a good look. He's can talk okay for himself, you know. Dude can wrestle. Now, for some reason, his haircut reminds me of, for those who've seen No Country for Old Men, and you know that haircut Javier Bardem had in that movie, that kind of reminds me of that haircut. But nonetheless, Fletcher, good wrestler. I enjoyed this match with Omega. Yeah, it was good. So, they had an exchange on the outside. Omega looked for a V-trigger, looked like, and he got tripped into a chair. So, back from break, Omega hit a moonsault to the outside. And then, I don't know if this miscommunication or whatnot, but Omega hit a top rope drop kick to the back of Fletcher. Fletcher fired back with a big kick, followed with a brainbuster for a 2. He long darted Omega into the middle turnbuckle. There was one spot you're like, ugh. But anyways, long dart, Mitch Snoker driver again for another near fall. Omega fired back after exchange, hit a poison rana, followed with a powerbomb, V-trigger, but Fletcher kicked out. Fletcher fired back, walked in his patented Dragon Sleeper, which made Boulder tap out on Collision. But Omega slipped over for a near fall. Excuse me. Omega, big V-trigger, catching Fletcher off the ropes. One winged angel for the win. Kenny Omega beats the game, Kyle Fletcher. And yeah, Don Callis is not too pleased about Fletcher. So they were in Texas. So I saw the graphic, and after seeing reports the other day, I think many were so happy to see Lance Archer back, especially in Texas. Lance Archer, the Murkoff Monster, was back as he beat up Baron Browning. I think that was the name. Yeah, it was funny entrance. So Archer, he kicked Browning and he fell down the ramp, and Just Roberts said, kicking his opponent down to the ring. And then he doubted what. So Roberts said Lance. And then Browning went for a suicida, but was swatted by Archer, or it was caught. And then Roberts then said, Archer. Archer chokeslammed Browning on the apron. Browning tried to get some shots in. Archer hit big knee on the top rope. Hit a blackout. 1, 2, 3. Lance Archer wins his turn. Look, if there's one guy I look back on the history of AEW and I'm very annoyed that he was not booked correctly, it's Lance Archer. I mean, this way, and it's unfortunate. His AEW run started in the pandemic. They tried to rekindle that when they got fans back, but didn't regain, thing AEW does too much is stop and go with their pushes, and Archer really resembled that. I mean, he had that brilliant Texas death match with Hangman for the AEW title. I mean, just seeing him pose with the AEW title was great. And, of course, he lost last year. And, he's been up and down. Of course, he was part of the G1 earlier this year. But again, stopping on. I mean, I hope this wasn't for just Texas. I hope they're able to book him right. I hope. But we'll see. Either way, it was great to see Archer on the show and get another win. So, we have a little vignette of Prince Nana and Swerve Strickland. Looked like they were in a parking lot promoting the debut of music video with, excuse me, it's like a remix of Swerve Strickland's theme. So, anyways, Nana trying to boost morale of Swerve. Swerve's like, I should be happy, right? But thing is, I should have the premiere while wearing the TNT title. But I'm not because of Hangman. So he said that originally it shouldn't be personal, but the last some more we contribute, you'll realize that, we are not the same because do not care about life as much as you. So we shall see. But yeah, another match with Hangman and Swerve. Sign me up. Sign me up. With a stipulation, we'll see. Sting. Then he came here to address the fans. So, talked about reflecting on the past before he got into the word. Talked about, some of the guys he grew up with, whether it was Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, etc. Thanking Ric Flair and others for helping him get on the map. Taking a little from everyone. Say he figured why many would still come back to do it. Plus the way he has, the roar of the crowd, etc. Being on the road, relationships, etc. with people, and most notably the fans. So he got into word saying he retired once, but that wasn't really how he wanted it. So, come back AEW for 2020, late 2020, and he announced point blank, 2021, his first match, Revolution 2024, will be his last. It sucks. I mean, a legend like Sting, growing up, playing as him in WCW games or WCW NWO on Nintendo 64. Now, see him wrestle his last match, Revolution, against who? But a few more months, yeah, it's gonna be joy to see. Thank you, Sting. Thank you, Sting. This got quite hilarious. So we had another Tony Storm vignette. So RJC and Tony Storm. Yeah, just hilarious. I have to go back to watch the video on the YouTube page with the music and all. But yeah, these cinematics, these silent films are funny. And what helped to her character. They're fun to see. If I had to pick, I don't know. If I had to pick sort of a down point, I don't know. This segment was hit or miss. I think the some or many. So Nick Wayne sat down with JR and his mother. His mother was distraught, shocked about him turning his back on Darby Allin, who's been like a brother to him. And Nick talked about how he's tired of being Darby shallow, saying that point blank Christian Cage will be a better father figure than Dad ever was. So, yeah, just perplexing segment, I would say. So, Christian Cage all of a sudden pulls in. So, anyways, said, "Are you ready to go, my son?" So, his mom was trying to hold back Nick Wayne, and then he said some stuff. She slapped him, and then she felt sorry. She felt regret. He left to Christian. Um, and saying Christian said you should have picked up the phone, and the crowd you can hear was laughing. So, anyways, they exit behind the door. She's upset. All of a sudden, you hear rowling and violence beyond the door. So, open door. Christian's laid out. Darby is brawling with Nick Wayne. Then all of a sudden, they cut to the arena. They're brawling in the arena. Luchasaurus intervenes, but Sting makes a save. Apparently, Nick Wayne lost a tooth. It looks like he lost a tooth. I mean, you could see his mouth was bloody. And looked like Sting was about to apply the Scorpion Deathlock on Christian, but Luchasaurus made the save. So yeah, there's that. Yeah. First half of the segment. Second half was one. Did not see Adam Copeland there, which I get because, first or Sting's, address night to address the fans. There you go. We got the main event. The Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal. Which I thought was good. Good. Good job. So, we had Juice Robinson there. We had Max Kessler. We had former members of the JS. We had Johnny TV. We had a lot of guys in there. Jeff Hardy. Matt Hardy. Yeah. I mean, Battle Royals, we can tell AEW has a bunch. Clunky. This was okay. MJF really added a tone to this. Kind of enjoyed. So MJF was on commentary. So kind of cut to the eliminations, basically. So Johnny TV was eliminated by a double team. Matt Hardy was eliminated by Hager. So Juice was brawling with Dustin Rhodes in the middle of the ring. MJF went off commentary, went on the apron, talked to Dustin, whispered something in his ear, pulled out a $20 bill to bribe Dustin Rhodes to kick him in the nuts, aka Shattered Dreams, by Dustin Rhodes. Easiest $20 Dustin's ever made. So there you go. I mean, I think a lot of people have kicked Juice in the nuts for $20. But yeah, that was funny. Commander was eliminated by Menard and Parker. Hager then was eliminated. Trent eliminated. Jeff was eliminated. Finally, we got to the final five. We got Daniel Garcia, Dustin Rhodes, Matt Menard, Max Caster, and Juice Robinson. So you could pretty much knew who was going to win. So Garcia looked like for a double team on Dustin Rhodes, which, by the way, Garcia, Menard, and Parker are going after trios titles at Battle of the Belts on Saturday. So there you go. So Garcia eliminated both Dustin Rhodes and Matt Menard, who was pissed at him dancing. Garcia tried to eliminate Juice, but Caster eliminated Garcia, which only angered MJF because he did not want either of them to win. Basically, he said a stalker versus a sleazeball. So there you go. So Jay White attacked MJF on the stage, and they were wrong. So there you go. Which distracted Max Caster. So Juice Robinson pulled out the ring that Jay White gave him on Collision, knocked out Max Caster with it, threw him over the top, and Juice Robinson is the winner of the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal. Now, we'll face MJF for it next week. Here's the thing. Juice has that left hand of God finish. So there's that. And MJF is no longer a heel, per se. Now, don't want to see your world champion losing on TV. So it's a weird situation. But I figure if there was a time where MJF could lose the ring, maybe next week. Maybe. But then again, he has to get momentum over Bullet Club Gold. So, we'll see. But I thought it was a good addition of Dynamite. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But yeah, I enjoyed it. If you liked this video, of course, give a like, give a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new and you want to help out the channel and find out all the content. there. But yeah, so I heard that. I just want to make mention. So I heard that Triple H has been knighted by Endeavor to the creative of WWE. Now, I'm known to do some pay-per-views once in a while. May do Crown Jewel. We'll see. Yo, may do. I miss reviewing WWE. So, we'll see. But, anyways, guys, thank you all for joining me. I'm Miero, say Joan 2-1 Love. See you guys on Sunday for Collision. And then back at again next week for Dynamite. So, thank you guys. Adios. Peace.